Here's Brody Brazil.
This is amazing that the play on this is totally going against maybe how it was intended. And that the situation in Oakland and how it dissolved or broke down, or the timing of it, or the back and forth of it, or the history of it. Like, there is some drama lingering in Oakland, and it's interesting how lawmakers now in Nevada have even asked the question, what happened in Oakland? Why is that leading this to us? And it's a fair question. I mean, look, it's been a while since I've been in this realm, but typically if you start seeing somebody, you eventually have a few questions about, well, who else have you engaged with over time, right? Like, it's a question. It's an obvious question. What's the history of this individual? And in this case, Nevada lawmakers are asking kind of that question. And I don't think what they're uncovering is potentially helpful to them to figuring out an ultimatum here. And I would also say, record on the field, forget, the track and where it's been. The record on the field right now of a 130 loss team and a roster that does not have a Matt Chapman, a Matt Olson, a Marcus Semien, a Sean Murphy. I could go on and on. All the names in a manager like Bob Melvin. This is no disrespect to the current group of players and the up-and-coming nature. The Oakland A's and what general manager David Force does, they will regenerate. That baseball operations side of the Oakland A's, separate from all this stuff going on, they have always been so good at procuring talent. But I'm just saying the last group, they've been so good that the last group they brought in, you don't have that as an advertisement anymore. Imagine how different this would be right now if there was a pitch to lawmakers that, you know what, we've got a 97-win team here. We've won the division a couple times lately. We contend every year. We've got this group. And even if this group isn't entirely who will be on the team in 2028, this is our core. We're going to build and add some pieces to this. We're going to maintain this core. Kind of like a garden, right? Some of the plants and flowers, they might die over time, but you prune them, you put a new one, you plant a new one, it grows, but you keep the garden looking nice. At this point, the garden is pretty barren. And so this is not necessarily an appealing thing. And look, if you're watching this, you're probably a sports person and you realize teams, like I said before, they get really good, then they struggle, then they get really good. It ebbs and flows. But right now, you're in such a situation where this team is so bad that the casual person, and sometimes the casual sports person, might be a lawmaker. And they're like, wait, what? This team will never be good, which is not necessarily true. But right now, that's going against the idea of what you're trying to present as entertainment in Las Vegas. And that's kind of the last thing here. I mean, think about entertainment in Las Vegas. I'm going to say Tiesto again. What if Tiesto put on a bad show? Would you still go see Tiesto? What if the Blue Man Group wasn't that, well, I guess I might like it. I don't think I've ever seen it in person. But what if their new act for this season was really bad? And people heard about it and were like, whoa, that is historically one of the worst Blue Man Group acts I've ever seen. Probably doesn't sell tickets like it used to. But these are things that A's baseball would have to contend with and compete against in Southern Nevada. You have to be down there, a concert or a show or a performance that people want to see. Imagine, I was thinking this the other day, Shohei Ohtani, scheduled to be a free agent this winter. What if the A's went down there and said, you know what, we are competing so much to have a good team that we'll be in the race we might bring Shohei Ohtani to the Las Vegas Strip. We're going to have baseball's unicorn, the guy who pitches and hits home runs. We haven't seen a player like this yet since Babe Ruth. We're bringing the next Babe Ruth to the Las Vegas Strip. Oh, you got my attention now. But this isn't even a team that's coming with the Matts, Ole and Chappie and Marcus and Liam. And I feel guilty too. I want to mention Chris Bassett, Frankie Montas, Laser Ramon. I mean, there's so many critical players of that last little group there. Anyway, And if I forgot a few, I'm sorry about that. But this is like the current team and the situation cannot be helping the optics of what's being presented and assessed here.